簡單意思，有啲 indie game 成日我驚佢冇音樂，好似收唔到音樂喎。攞陣。得啦，細聲少少。成日呢啲 game 都係比較麻煩，要每次都要調一調。哦。咦？一入嚟已經玩嘅。
It's your turn, fixed foot soul, with a bit of that old world flavor. You're tuned to Radio Nostalgia from Mars. Breathe easy, kick back, and reminisce.
我呢個開場喺度講話，有班有錢佬就移民晒去火星，之後咧廢棄嗰個地球咧就俾佢哋變咗一個巨型嘅高爾夫球場，然後個主角就係過嚟呢度打歌。但係因為我火星電台可以去到呢度都聽到，呢個係咩？拖住貓屎瞄準，但後邊啲景都幾靚，肥佬一個鏡頭。
The signs are fake and the maps are false, but we must go on.
我自己行到個位唔使自己行。我好少玩呢啲。貼地貼得太近啦嘛，係咪咧？喂！救命！第一棟咁樣都計係第一棟。放射性，等先，我會轉翻護士。我話寫咩啊？通常有群咩？有群嘅咩？咁咧就牛牛喎。喂，落去！解鎖有咩睇啊？解鎖好心水同其他人唔可以，我要睇個解鎖喎，乜嘢？目前關卡，佢有限桿數，35關唔多係嘛？咩 Alpha 城嘅郊外？喺圍牆後邊睇佢哋玩，同埋我習慣圍牆後邊一支，麻煩。你睇翻之前，當然有廢棄，頭先講呢個，分數，我最驚要打分數呢啲嘢。計總計減1，因為睇golf嗰啲比賽有睇過，但係我唔係好識睇嘅。先，最佳桿數標準桿4桿加1減1。減係好啲嘅。 我呢度聽住歌幾好喎呢度。幾多 like？ Oh no！ How far away？ 喂，你有冇咁食？咁食力啊！三乾添。俾我讀緊咯。
Radio nostalgia from Mars. What a way to start the show. Anna Chuchin would take my hand, her sublime take on our wonderful project called Humanity. Beautiful. Plenty more to come into Soul's show, a show packed with stories and music to remind ourselves of where we are and how far we've come. Our first caller for the show calls it like it is, and was a hard-hitting look back at the last days on Earth from the perspective of a shrewd businessman and loving father. Stories, memories, the good old days, original sources, authentic tales, hope, inspiration, drama.
Radio nostalgia from Mars.
I worked in oil, brokering gasoline to be exact. It's a strange business, probably not like you would actually imagine it to be. My day started something like this. I check Reuters and my sheets. See if there's been a change in the fundamentals. See if the spread's up or down. And then when the clock strikes go, I'm on the phone. I could be calling some commercial shop in Bumble, Kansas, where little old Sue loves to know how my daughter's doing. Or I could be trying to get into the head of a powerful Russian who knows the world wants his phone number. That's when the psychology kicks in, and I go to work. If they pick up the phone, they're mine. That's the game. I started when I was 29, 30. My boss was a coked-up, perma-tanned moron who was wasted by lunch. More money than sense. Screaming at waiters, because, you don't drink gin out of a glass like that. And Caesar salad is supposed to have 8 pieces. 8 pieces of chicken, you stunted fool. Stunted fool was his favorite insult. It's coming from a guy who was 5 foot nothing. That was pretty much my life. 24/7. I traveled a lot. Meeting clients all over the world. The Amazon, the Gulf, Siberia, Central Asia, the States, Singapore, everywhere. Looking back, I can't claim that I ever would recommend that life, nor can I claim that I was ever really happy doing it. But it was fun. I mean, talk about your share of moments. There was this one girl, some strange mix of Algiers and Paris, with some sprinkle of Havana, a dancer, naturally. So pretty. She'd turn a priest's head or give a nun a... Sometimes I wonder what happened to her. But we all had the same feeling. This can't last. And sure enough, we were right.
Wait! Oh, no.
First you couldn't drink the water. Then you couldn't eat the crops. And pretty soon we wouldn't be able to breathe the air.
Oh my god.
I remember looking at Emmy and wondering what kind of a future would she have. So I decided to do something about it. The Mars project was Plan B for planet Earth, which was most evidently the family and I had already put down roots in Tesla City by the time the great catastrophe really hit.
Oh no.
The corporation knew my contacts in the world of drilling and refining would be useful. So I adapted my skills to something more practical. Now we're all that keeps this little planet running. Mining those Martian chemicals for the battery banks. Martian cement for the buildings. My pure little Emma has a future. When somebody sits down and writes this all up for the history books, it might just be men like me they'll be hailing as heroes. It's men like me who saved humanity. Men like me who took us further than we ever dreamt possible.
Wait.
Radio nostalgia from Mars.
Oh, some pretty heavy stuff. Reminds us that all kinds made it up here to Mars, but we're all in it together now, and remain creatures of the world. You're tight beamed to radio nostalgia from Mars, music for the lost days of Earth.
好似啱咁難走力，因為爆 quota 啊啲關。我估定我手大光邊個我？我打 golf 嘅時候，但係又唔知會俾人捉咁。哇！我記得海鷗，因為我哇！點打上去？有冇高難度啲咧？玩多條。Oh my god！ 冇打過呢邊有啊喂！我冇咁大力打喎，震緊我。Oh my god！ 冇跌落嚟。我咪只可以打喺呢邊。Oh no！ 死埋。爐火純青呢個咩成就呀？跌咗落嚟。打唔上嚟，啱啱好就打唔上。啲人上到去啦，因為唔夠人打過。高技術嗰啲應該呢度打過啦，我低技術嗰啲嘢邊打過？喂，咁就得啦。但係點解咁大場景有？我覺得有啲嘢喎，呢啲位。想打過嗰邊睇下。驚打唔到上去可唔可以用一粒波試下打中海鷗？我冇玩。咁實應該咁。喂！我食咗我一 Q。所以走私品遊戲好似好奇怪，呢個人佢一個人嚟玩，咁又佢又我咧講邊個
You're home away from home. Radio nostalgia from Mars.
Creatures of the world, how that's attracted takes us back. Stefan Milenkovic, pining for blue skies, plus musing on the games we play. Just a reminder that until further notice, there is a moratorium on all team leaders playing card and board games with their teams, following an incident over a game of Monopoly in Section C. All senior section team leaders will convene for emergency counseling and anger management courses. Until then, there'll be no intersectional board game tournaments and no games with groups larger than 4 people at a time per team. In the interim, teams are encouraged to take advantage of the half-ration special on OMAS, a delicious and relaxing drink that takes the edge off of everything.
Oh shit! Oh
Our
no!
next caller, Yamil, takes us into her world of food, smells, sensuality, blue skies, and sings us a personal song to remember.
Histoire, mémoire, le bon vieux temps,
c'est
source
là,
originale, fable authentique, espoir, inspiration, drame, musique, radio nostalgie de Mars.
你近佢識行嘅喎。
I have nightmares. I'm happy to be alive, but I knew many who deserved to live more than I did. But this is a radio program about nostalgia, not guilt.
Why?
I've been nostalgic since I was 20, when I left Havana. In Europe, I felt different. Each country has a smell. Mars doesn't. Where I come from, the smell of the ocean, mango, bananas, coconut, mama's food, ropa vieja, de la abuelita, el con gris, la yuca con mojito, the most beautiful sun of Malecon, the smell of my street when the rain falls, all of that make me into the person I am. So when I left, I grew stronger. I experienced the world, but forever stayed incomplete. So now I'm double nostalgic. We were full of life, laughing on warm nights under blue sky, touching each other. The air filled with the smell of sweat from dancing with Orchestra Aragon playing from an apartment. Now, the only way I can feel this scent is by singing. ¿Cómo fue? No sé decirte cómo fue. No sé explicarme qué pasó, pero de ti me enamoré. Fue una luz que iluminó todo mi ser. Tu risa como manantial lleno mi vida de inquietud. Fueron tus ojos o tu boca, fueron tus manos o tu voz. Fue a lo mejor la impaciencia de tanto esperar tu llegada, mas no sé decirte cómo fue, no sé explicarme qué pasó, pero de ti me enamoré.
Слушайте радио носталгiju sa Marsa.
Thank you, Yamil. What a wonderful story. Reminds us that life is about so much more than just base survival. Well, living in space has always been challenging, and here's a song that pokes a little fun at living in cramped quarters. Needs no introduction. All you want. It's a classic.
Take a moment, relax, and remember with radio nostalgia from Mars.
A Russian and an American work together in space. A very different sight from the Cold War arms race, whether Kubrick or Tarkovsky, Solaris or 2001. Melody does the music. You sing in Object London to astronauts. Argue about art. That is an international relations to astronauts.
Why?
Америка убила иракцев, убила чехов, убила Мумбу. Она убила корейцев, вьетнамцев, распространяя демократию. Don't get me started on Stalin and your talent to suffer under.
佢唔係叫解謎 game 啊，喂，佢係純粹一隻運動 game。
That is an international relation to astronauts. They speak in two tongues, but still 4 hours they talk.
我冇帶你去第一笪地方，
Same oxygen
但
in
係
their
高
lungs.
球場，我又唔係真係叫高，
On their space
我
walk.
個低。去翻咁碌你呢個窿會點咧？有冇成就？
Я скучаю по утреннему кофе. Сказал российский космонавт. In the sunrise, the American astronaut. Я скучаю по жене и домой. Сказал российский космонавт. Also miss my wife and Charlie the astronaut. Two astronauts.
唔敢睇我啲成績啊！
That is an international relation. Two astronauts.
5個關卡打出標準杆，我識標準杆咩？標準杆咯。1、2、3加8。我啱啱唔慣佢少個就得㗎。啱啱打和。我又踢翻嚟要。我爭好多。邊翻標準杆就？而家邊翻啲係唔得。打成乜嘢有咩用解釋？綠光或者近視，綠光陽光，解錯乜嘢？我覺得牛。Pineapple pizza， 喂，不對意嘅意大利人，我車頂魚，但呢個冇得再扯嘅，已經扯得冇。你係應該放喺呢個位嘅，入個沙，麻煩。可唔可以打翻嚟？
Musica e stari dobrej dan. Radio nostalgie samasa.
Anna Churchill and arguably the first interplanetary hit, 2 astronauts, an anthem to the Great Evacuation, and certainly one of our most popular requests. Speaking of requests, please follow Habitat protocols for sanitation. No liquids other than bodily in the main bin, including pee. Some of you don't like it, but all water is recycled, so pee into the funnel installed next to your toilet, please. Speaking of pee and poop, we recently welcomed our first official little Martian to the colony, and our next caller, Sophia, tells us what it's like to be a new mother on Mars.
I'm so happy to move to Mars. It was a project I funded from the very beginning. I knew it had potential and I trusted the amazing team working on it. As angel investors, my husband and I got early placements in the Ark ship. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to further human survival in our solar system. Speaking of the human project, I have some exciting news. Just a week ago, we welcomed our baby boy into the world. Words cannot express how overjoyed we are at welcoming little Maxim. Putting him to bed reminds me of my parents. From our window here in Tesla City, we can see the earth, tiny enough to fit in Maxim's hand. It pains me that my child might never experience the beauty of my home in the Hamptons. The nature, coastline, the old lighthouse, and the food, the houses of our friends, our evening parties, full of life compared to this barren, rugged terrain. I send my little Martian to sleep with a lullaby my mother sang for me. Thanks to these songs, I'm able to retain, at least on a rudimentary level, my mother tongue. She sang like this. Shushti, shushti, bambusoli, pored moka prozora, noć se tiho spušta na grad, sa nebeski spodova.
奶牛生氣，好 Q， 掉咗我垃圾桶有冇搞錯？我點打翻出嚟？打佢背脊都嬲，咁搞笑。
Thank you, Sophia, for that uplifting news and beautiful song. Life always finds a way. Just as precious as a new life is the water that sustains it. You may have noticed that it doesn't rain here on Mars, so another friendly reminder that showers are strictly limited to 30 seconds each, with no exceptions. Corporate is looking into extending this time frame, but is meeting resistance from Section BC, who want lab rat urine to be excluded from the water recycling program, which would actually reduce allocated shower times to 27 seconds. What to say in this? Join our sectional weekly meetings and vote while sipping on a relaxing tube of OMAS. Feels good, as it should.
Radio nostalgia from
但係佢
Mars.
係講成個古仔係要自己聽個電台講喎，好攰喎。想打落。
Like spaceship birds around the sun. A diver's breath in a deep blue sea.
行都行唔
Bubbles like your thoughts of me.
行過去，我記得頭先有翻嚟可以行爆行爛嗰啲波。唔係沙地，嗰啲應該唔關事。喂，what？ 啊？啊？
You'll miss the boat before it sinks. Starlight passes quickly like bursts like a bomb, like a child. Soon becomes hold it close and don't be sure. The time will come when nothing is left, 'cause life passes quickly. It flies by. Like a diver's breath in a deep blue sea. Passes like your thoughts of me. Make up sex on summer's day. Like an airplane on a runaway. Melts like ice cream in the sun. Doesn't fool anyone. Like a desperate man taking his chance. Quick as the kiss at your first dance. Don't you blink, you'll miss the boat.
我一關就停呢度啦，正呢個位。
Start passes quickly like bursts like a bomb, like a child in the morning it will soon be gone. So hold those close and don't lose your breath. It's time to passes quickly. It flies by. You're home away from home. Life passes quickly indeed. Another blast from the past, reminding us to savor each moment as it flies by. Speaking of savoring things, the Health and Well-being Department would like us to remind you that the popping and fizzing noise your dried food makes when you're adding water is perfectly normal and does not mean it has gone off or is contaminated. The Health and Wellbeing Department would also like to take this moment to remind you to take your bone density pills twice a week now, as it was discovered the original dose is off by a factor of 2. Right, on with the show. Music and dancing have always been a mainstay of stress relief and letting go. Our next caller, Merva, recalls her teenage clubbing days with vivid memories of awkward first kisses and a life-altering club experience invoking a philosophical epiphany.
Stories, memories, the good old days, original sources, authentic tales, hope, inspiration, drama, radio nostalgia from Mars.
So, when I was a kid in Vienna, in high school, we used to learn all the German poets, like Best Friends, Goethe and Schiller. But the first poet that actually spoke to me was Heinrich Heine. I knew a couple of Heine's poems by heart that are now buried somewhere deep in my mind. But one passage about burning books stuck with me. Yes, even till today. So, just to fast forward to college, just a couple of years before the Great Catastrophe, I was walking around Berlin with a group of friends coming from a house party. I still remember that apartment smelling of potatoes. Yes, because we always made pommes and drank schnapps before heading out. Yeah. And after that, I remember passing by Alexanderplatz on that very, very hot night. And next to me was a guy I liked. We kissed before, but I can't say I really remember that. Probably from all the drinking, or maybe he was just a bad kisser. But I can still feel this sticky, sweaty, and very ambivalent feeling of us holding hands. Yeah, anyways, we popped some pills and entered our techno church that, well, now when I think back, I visited more often than my college. And I remember the beat in my chest and all these young bodies moving in this industrial space. I used to love dancing and counting beats in techno songs, but one song was very strange. It just went repetition, and this female vocal would creep out of nowhere. And then suddenly I felt very dizzy, so I sat on the ground and held my knees closely to my chest. It was some sort of like, like protective instinct. I was like an animal, and I felt cold sweat dripping down my neck. Ugh. And I'm sure my guy thought I was completely crazy. And then out of nowhere, the Heine lines clearly came to me. I sat there motionless, surrounded by the ugly, hypnotic, delirious atmosphere. Ow! No effort to recall Heine's lines. They were just there, planted in my head. Wilde, düstere Zeiten dröhnen heran und der Prophet, der eine neue Apokalypse schreiben wollte, musste ganz neue Bestien erfinden. Und zwar so erschreckliche, dass die älteren johannischen Tiersymbole dagegen nur sanfte Täubchen und Amoretten wären. Die Götter verhüllen ihr Antlitz aus Mitleid mit den Menschenkindern, ihren langjährigen Pfleglingen und vielleicht zugleich auch aus Besorgnis über das eigene Schicksal. And yeah, 2 years later, I ended up here, on Mars.
Wait.
That does bring back memories of university days and sweaty club nights. Earthly hedonism at its finest. For the record, corporate does not endorse or advocate the use of psychedelic drugs. And reminds you, dear listeners, that Class A drugs are just as illegal here on Mars as they were on Earth. Okay, disclaimer out of the way, we actually have a surprise for Milva. We tracked down that weird song in her head and dug it out of the archives for all to hear. Grab a tube of OMAS and enjoy the ride while sipping on pure calm.
The deepest tunes, the warmest memories. Radio nostalgia from Mars.
Why? Okay. Why? 點解頭先有彈到喎？我屌！咩可跳過？跳乜？跳咩啊？點解唔俾彈？頭先彈到㗎？啊？你呢度可以彈嘅又，哎呦！我想打爆呢個玻璃蓋，應該得嘅，但係落眼水喎，係，哎呀，都話碎呢啲。哇！我呢個除咗用物理出貓好似好難玩嘅喎。哇！你〜我又爆乾到啦！喂，搞錯！爆啦！阿軍而家同狗住埋一齊。哇！啲黑軍有咩醬啊？條攬兩支。點嘅？哇！ 打 lift 上。有掣。哦，好神奇呢個地圖。但好似點會碌上？搭唔到 lift 喎呢個，打咗個窿喎。哇！一定呢個掣有呢啲嘢，但係我行到過嚟未？喂，行到你邊個過嚟㗎？都打唔到喎。
You're listening to Radio Nostalgia from Mars.
Well, what can I say? No wonder that song got into her head. But with a little help from some friends, she pulled through. Another thing that can get into your head is living conditions here on Mars. Life up here on Mars can get a bit overwhelming at times, so along with a soothing OMAS drink, no stress, no fuss, it bears mentioning that wellness counseling is mandatory for all team members, regardless of rank or tenure. The wellness sessions are completely confidential and anonymous, but do remember that all conversations are monitored and recorded for security reasons, and you must have your ID badge and sectional access pass visible at all times. Okay, time for another story. Our last caller for Tissol's show is Francesco, who tells a haunting tale of his last days on Earth as the great catastrophe kicked into high gear.
Stories, memories, the good old days, original sources, authentic tales, hope, inspiration, drama, radio nostalgia from Mars.
It was an extremely humid summer. My parents would not let me out because of the floods in Italy. My father went outside. He was working in the greenhouse on the vineyard, and my mother was a doctor. She really tried very tense to me. I was very small, but I remember many days when our neighbors would gather at our house and make plans. It rained heavily at night. They would only say to me, "Powerful people want to take my great-great-grandfather's land." But one image stuck in my memory. It was daybreak. I woke up and I could faintly hear in the dark. Oh, Gorizia, tu sei maledetta. Only later I understood the history behind this song. Outside I saw men and women, my father and mother, rifles in their hands. My father was crying and singing. I was at the door of the house. My mother turned, smiled at me, but it was a mysterious, confident smile. Cara moglie, che tu non mi senti, raccomando ai compagni vicini di tenermi da conto ai bambini, che io muoio col suo nome nel cuore. Of course, I had no idea where they were buried. Traditori, signori ufficiali, che la guerra l'avete voluta, scannatori di carne venduta e rovina della gioventù. years later, the Mars mission. In a way, the people who killed my parents found me in Italy and recruited me. Saved me, you can say. It is ironic, no? My parents fought for freedom. I cannot say I'm free here on Mars. They took my semen this morning for the population increase program. Here, on Mars, often in the middle of the night, I hear my parents saying, "Oh Gorizia, tu sei maledetta per ogni cuore che sente coscienza. Dolorosa ci fu la partenza e il ritorno per molti non fu. O Gorizia, tu sei maledetta per ogni cuore che sente coscienza. Dolorosa ci fu la partenza e il ritorno per molti non fu.
Radio nostalgia from Mars.
係應該打唔到個波揾佢，如果打個波揾佢會點？向上打，向上打有啲難度喎。試下先，而家唔係求過關，揾下有啲咩？我應該上到去。加油！喂，得，有個欄杆頂住安全。上去揾佢，喂！啊！好彩！得，上去啦！上去真係。上唔到去㗎。我白紙嘅喎，佢唔計天台喎。真係上唔到天台。上喎，哇！死我加33個，我成績好慘不忍睹。打光，好難打喎，打光已經燒咗幾個來嘅。大力嘅壓力。 最多好啲。我斬咗個，我試。唉，可唔可以做打我試㗎？該做。係啊。耶，得。呢個我隔離先啦。Oh no！ 唉。得。咁大，高，上。之後，喂，你點解咁完美咁彈落去？有。我隔離。
The deepest tunes, the warmest memories, radio nostalgia from Mars.
Well, that brings us to the end of the show. It's been a real journey. Music, stories, and memories. Radio nostalgia from Mars has it all. If you want to be involved with RNFM, have a story to tell, a memory to share, contact us via the usual internet channels and leave a short message outlining your contribution. Once your story idea is vetted and greenlit by corporate, we'll track you down to organize a time to record you. Please note that not all stories are accepted and we are not permitted to give out criteria, so stories and ideas are submitted at your own risk. A big thank you to our show sponsor, OMAS, the no stress, no fuss drink for the ultra elite. And a big thank you to corporate for allocating us this precious time and their resources on this tight beam. To you. I hope you've enjoyed the show. It's been a pleasure to take your hand. We're playing out with Crowded in My Mind, a song that always reminds us that no matter how cramped and stuffy we feel, in the end, there is always a breath of fresh air in memories of blue skies.
Muzika iz starih dobrih dana. Radio nostalgija sa Marsa.
Go! 嚟搞掂，我都啊！冇事，好，繼續。喂，咩啊？歐化成嘅無意間發一群人打喺個不識嘅球嘅高爾夫球嚟㗎。不是啊！你講緊留喺地球啲人係嗰個外星，你打到個窿度點？頂住嘅，白痴。 俾食咗啊？唔係啊！哎呀！跌落啲葉度都唔得，但呢樣就要一陣先啦。啊！好耐啊！俾佢食啊！喂又啊！我呢個如果要做攻略，要度住個揾個角度尺，物理，仲要物理外掛，做到呢個圖表。你全部要起晒啲樹頭，打正樹頭咁嘅，全部都係同邊搞？我想打到呢個窿度，我覺得係有成就嘅。大啲啊，你都唔碌咁多。喂！我就揾角度尺㗎啦，俾你。喂！我要求攞角度尺。哎呀！好手。我做到呢個圖表啦。打我呢度。喂，嗨，你好，初見。誒，做咩事啊？一條鼠。喂，睇唔到。啊？有咩啊？9號不送。啊，佢幫我篤咗落去啊！呢啲穿住防護衣嘅火星公民係採集樣本，即係咩啊？咁啊打歌佢打到我都唔知佢哋玩緊咩嘅喎。有呢個我屋企冇角度尺，唔係我物理外掛你，好難打。哇咁會唔會高樓大廈打？咁樣打歌唔係啩？然後大神漢啊！哥哥，爭啲驚唔識讀你個名。等你打地度啊！哦，陷阱窿，係咪啲風會送我過嚟呢邊啊？全部咁多陷阱窿喺度，哇！呢個平台好雜啲，下個節目得閒聽嘅喎，哇！Please stand by for next transmission in 30 seconds. 哇！你會唔會難咗啲咧？呢個 Please stand by for next transmission in 20 seconds. 你點解你個節目倒數咁恐怖嘅喂 ？In 15 seconds. 唔係打上嚟，我幫我吹過嚟。In 10 seconds. 哦，冇喎，你幫我吹喎。In 5 seconds. In 1 second.
Yate, all you Martians out there, welcome to another edition 我都好大個窿。哦。Plenty of great stuff coming your way into Soul Show. You know, that old German flavor. Some more stories from our beloved callers, and news and views from around our base out here among the stars.
好，原地。
Like I said,
喂，我撞咗牆。我好專心打波，睇唔到佢下邊個電台講咩。走啊！因為打波打到好似跑馬咁樣。阿媽 ，no！ 快啲上，夠唔夠力㗎？得喎，得喎，得喎。上定落好啲啊！好似下邊呢度，好似下邊呢度會過啲，但係落唔落到去咧？唔好彈，唔好彈！哎，得，哎，喂，你點解打得出？點解？咁細嘅？你頭先第一下好正嘅喎，冇咁啦，我啲杆數啊冇晒啦。我哋復活。低啲咯，喂，做乜做？喂，你唔係唔好去到咁。啊！喂！搞錯啊！唉，都俾跳過。呢段哇，嘥咗10幾個血糖。啊！
Show with the Club Classic Proto 2021. Long lost earthly anthem recently discovered in the archives here on Mars.
早晨啊，生得咯，打緊歌啊！但係四個歌撥地圖。點解人喺呢啲咁嘅地方打歌㗎？
Speaking of carefree, look out for 3 new Omas flavors: pink, green.
佢係話當係一隻解謎 game， 之後有啲故事我睇唔切咯，啲電台我交噏啲故事。
Right, moving on. As always, we've collected some stories from our beloved callers. And up first is a young man
已經搬咗去火星嘅特權人士投稿去一個火星台懷舊電台。投稿台啊，係咪好熟咧？都擔搞上嚟。係呢啲。
nearly missed the boat to Mars. I mean, the rumors about something big happening in Alphaville had been floating for a few years, and of course it was impossible to separate fact from fiction. At that time, I barely made it through insurgent territory to this floating ghetto about an hour away from Alphaville by motorboat. I won't go into detail, but the crew I ran with bribed an outpost guard to go have a really long piss, where we used his comms to access their intranet. Their information turned out just as distorted as ours, but we found one channel that changed everything. Some bright spot in Alphaville had made colour-coded spreadsheets of shipping data a monkey could understand. Imports into Alphaville were off the charts, while exports had zeroed out completely. I mean, nothing was coming out, even on the black market, which incidentally was fully accounted for, meaning it had to be sanctioned all along. So we knew something was up. Of course, Alphaville would be spotting this situation heavily. The insurgents were blamed for everything, disrupting supply lines, stealing aid, and so on. But it was really Alphaville stockpiling on a scale unseen in modern history. What put us off that they were planning to leave Earth is what they were stockpiling. Fuel. Specifically, dinitrogen tetroxide, hydrazine. Old school. But their chemicals used as rocket fuel. They're easy to store, but they're highly toxic and require careful handling, which explained another gruesome discovery. The covert shipping and dumping of bodies. A lot of bodies. There were so many that some of those bodies had started washing up in our neighborhood. So toxic, even scavengers stayed away. Coincidentally, it suddenly became much easier to get a multi-day work pass into Alphaville. We were so hungry and focused on other resources, we didn't make the connection. We assumed the workers were skipping on the visa. In fact, I was planning to do the exact same thing. So actually, I lucked out. I'm a small guy, and Alphaville was so strapped for labour at that point that I was given an unscreened pass and ended up in heavy labour, moving enormous containers into storage with mechanical suits. But it didn't fit them, so I was just given a scanner instead and told to scan serial numbers all day. It was very hard to breathe, so I traded for a spare hazmat suit from a drunk guard and put it on. Not unusual at all to hang out all day in a hazy. Technically just walking outside required one those days. That's what saved me, twice. Whew. I mean, hindsight is 20/20, but those containers were the rocket fuel. And in no way was it being stored and transported safely. All those guys died, withered to skin and bone. Nasty stuff. Again, it was all hidden in plain sight. Hell, we were all skin and bone at that point. We just assumed everyone was starving. I only got onto one of the last ships up to Mars because I was in a hazmat suit and holding that scanner, which I think had stopped working within the first days of my assignment. I never told anyone, and no one ever asked. I guess I was confused with security or something. All I remember is being yelled at, rushed into a shuttle, and then everyone patting me on the back and calling me Scully. The name embedded in the... I never saw my crew or the sky again.
搬去火星都見唔到個天空㗎啦，住蜜蜂住啲蜜蜂居住區咯。
Wow, what amazing luck to be in the right suit at the right time. Just goes to show, dressing appropriately for the job can really go a long way. Speaking of dressing appropriately, here's a Mars fun fact. Despite an average temperature of well below minus 80 degrees centigrade, if you step outside without a suit on, you won't freeze to death, your blood will boil. That's due to the low atmospheric pressure outside. So please maintain your suits properly and follow decontamination protocols strictly at all times when returning from extra habitat activities. No suit, no life, as we say.
Radio nostalgia from Mars.
Right.
Yes.
How about a 21st century love song remixed for the 22nd? Who's watching who? Espionage or true love? I guess we'll never really be quite sure.
Why? Huh? Huh? 你唔俾我用，調一下先。係點啊？細啲啲嘅咁搞鬼嘅，你點落去啊？做碌落去，食落去，勁搞笑，咁都有個成就，兔仔喎，我要避開啲樹葉。Through voyeuristic melancholy, you spy on me as I spy on you. That's how we know love is true. Wait, what? That love is blind, that only the agency can see. No place for us to hide, no room for love to be. 啱啱好，要嘥到一棍。喂。No place for us to hide, no room for love to be. You are my Stasi on the KGB. Forever your passwords mine will be. As you're watching me. 可以你啲聲破破地啦，唔穩陣，佢會碌死我。少少都入。喂！爭一步你踢低佢，搞到嘢帶晒嚟。That only the agency can see. No place for us to hide. No room for love to be. Oh yeah.
You're home away from home. Radio nostalgia from Mars.
Surveillance love song, an oldie. But a goodie. Sophie Jazz reminding us that love remains as complicated as ever, despite our patented matchmaking algorithms and genetic profiling. On the subject of complications, the Mars Time Conglomerate has asked me to mention that even though a Mars sol is 40 minutes longer than a day on Earth, you do not have to manually add 40 minutes to your clocks every sol. We are officially on Mars clock time, so every second, minute and hour across all systems and devices are 2.7% longer by design. I know it's confusing at first, but just keep time as usual. For all practical purposes, we live a 24-hour day up here, just like we did on Earth. Okay, on with the show. Well, we've had a few requests for some classical music, and boy do I have a double treat for you classical and vinyl lovers out there. A genuine record playing off an actual record player on loan from a dedicated RNFM fan. So grab a tube of OMS, sit back, and enjoy some chill, neoclassical vibes with that warm vinyl sound, right here on Radio Nostalgia from Mars.
Asa. Yep. 啲移民嗰啲唔係咁樣呢個結啩？ 都走難走得好多人嗰啲德士人士嘅話，咁多 keep 喺度。搭呢度。喂，幾多年後？睇先。佢呢個係咩剪法嘅地圖？好似未第一次見咁樣。下會幫你過，下應該會幫你搭貼嘅。哎呀！我好死唔死啊！跌落去啲垃圾地度。啊！唔好太遠。咩位置可以落？因為落呢度。喂！停到，有冇停到？波蓋，變咗藍色粒。但係我過唔過到你嘅呢個人？佢又唔係肥，好似睇唔到係咪肥佬喎，其實。肥佬。喂！嗰啲有成日啲唔同地形嗰啲。
Take a moment, relax, and remember, with radio nostalgia.
真係夠啦，冇過！哇，爭少少，差格我又要再打過。我知。點解？咁你打翻出嚟？喂！我哋呢咁都唔俾大家。哦。去咗邊啊？好難就力，搞錯！哎，喂，點解啊？我冇拉起，我冇拉好高喎，嘥咗我個過嚟。 佢都好灰，我就好灰。
You're home away from home. Radio nostalgia from
Now, as much as we appreciate our regular callers, there is one person we would really love to hear from. A man many of us owe our lives to. Our national hero, the Mars mission pilot, who brought us here safely so many years ago. Believe it or not, he finally made it back to Earth. After all these years, his dream finally came true. As we all know, he's had a very difficult time adapting to life here on Mars. We all have, just not in the public eye like him. So Charlie, this is Radio Nostalgia from Mars, personally reaching out to you. Charlie, we'd really appreciate it if you took some time to share a bit of the atmosphere from Earth with us. I'm sure many of our listeners are eager to hear your thoughts on being back. Just speak into the mic in your helmet. A few recorded words. Anything.
Well,
it's worth a shot. I know he's the biggest fan of Radio Nostalgia from Mars, and he's probably listening now from a rooftop somewhere in Alphaville. So stay tuned to see if he responds. But to be honest, I don't think we'll be hearing from him anytime soon, sadly. Oh well, who can blame him? Let's not spoil his moment any longer. Continue our own trip down memory lane.
Nice. 但係咁高嘅咯。喂，做乜偏到左邊啊？唔好碌，你鐵板唔好碌咁滑。通常呢啲最危險。Oh my god！ 開口做，哦，得，跌咗仲好。哇！好彩，因為我咪佢係大災難期間火星任務嘅飛行員。佢知喎個僆仔會知。哇！好多100架車。門都要攞你咪啊！睇先解鎖應該短光數。唔係我都就 玩咗一半啊，好8倉幾好，我再加3個，好慘啊！呢個成績好慘。呢個有利位置透過乳白色嘅布，廢墟睇嚟一個實驗遺跡。油畫霧海上嘅女人，體現咗崇高嘅浪漫主義。今日嘅畫面係一個穿住防護衣嘅飛行員，企喺到處都係破舊霓虹燈嘅放射性。
Musica starih dobrih dana.
我突然間開始咗個
nostalgia samas.
From neoclassical to electronica, we really do have it all here on Radio Nostalgia from Mars. First we heard an original vinyl with music from an unknown composer, lost to time, I'm afraid. All I can say is it's a white label test pressing found in a recycling bin with just the word Aftermath written across the label. After that we got the blood pumping with an upbeat tune from Polytet AD and their classic tune, Do You Love Me? Want to keep that blood pumping? Remember, exercise is mandatory. No groans, no bones. And mental exercise is just as important, so get on down to your local rec center for a dose of mentally stimulating team activities and some delicious OMAS. Okay, on to our next caller for the show. Money reminds us that one person's pleasure is another person's pain, and that we might not all relax in the same way to the same things.
I go back in a heartbeat. Tesla City is unbearable. As far as I'm concerned, this promised land is anything but a dictatorship without oxygen. All these daily routines and protocols about everything we took for granted on Earth are so exhausting. Is it safe to take off your hazmat to breathe? Is the water distilled from all our urine really safe? And exactly what behavior will trigger a social credit demotion? Not to mention, every sneeze is suspect. The whole dome has to be sanitized if someone even sniffles. You'd think we figured it out during the pandemic. I know social distancing up here is impossible, but how freaking difficult is it to keep your hands clean and just not sneeze on stuff? Anyway, maybe that's humanity in a nutshell. After all, we walked on the moon before really learning to walk on Earth. I digress. I just want to say that the effort put into maintaining basic life functions in this state-of-the-art society Use your head, can't you? Use your head. You're on Earth, there's no cure for that. Sam Beckett wrote that in Endgame. We're not cured, regardless of what our de facto overlords claim. It's ironic that the only thing we managed to export culturally onto another planet is a Silicon Valley brand of Protestantism. Sorry for rambling. Anyway, I called into the program to share some Earth sounds I captured. I'm sure listeners of RNFM who suffer from nostalgia like me will appreciate them. In the meditation dome, we can listen to the light sounds of the Tuscan country, the olive grove shores of Kefalonia, the blue Danube below the Schwarzwald. I went to the meditation dome a few times, but just like yoga, I can't stand it. Simply, I don't miss nature at all. I was never a nature person, never really liked hiking or camping. I miss the city. This whole predicament started because we mixed with wilderness in the first place. This bullshit about Mother Nature sugarcoated the fact that maybe we were supposed to keep a sharp boundary between ourselves and the wild. And now, we're demoted from Earthling to miserable Martian status. So at the end of every day, Sol, I escape into texts I brought along. I drink that horrid canteen coffee and listen to urban sounds I recorded 15 years ago, mostly in New York and London. Here are some of my favorite sounds. Here's the sound of my bicycle rolling down the street.
喎，你咪叫我呢度咁樣上去啊？呢度彈唔到過。
The sound of the bustling city in the morning, a call and response of cars and birds.
你呢個高爾夫冇彈到過嚟㗎啦。點啊？呢度碌落去，我有冇碌過出嚟
And the giggling of my kids in Washington Square as a group of street performers play the boombox and do tricks.
喂，夾住中間，頂住佢，頂住個門。係啊。
A kettle going off and the smell of Turkish coffee.
咩聲啊？啲細路仔喎。呢度有得行嘅。
And for some reason, I'm obsessed with the sound.
我驚反彈咗出嚟。咦？會啲滴咁過？好彈住！啊，係喎，嗰個欄杆喎。欄杆啊！啊喂，喂！哇你欄杆你，哎呀！喂！啊？你咪要打落呢個窿啊？呢條幾難喎！你打落去。啊？唔好可跳過啦，成日佢可跳過係咪即係話我杆數過咗嘅意思啊？係啊，俾我翻上去，分數睇唔到喎，而家喺邊度？18，唔係過咗好耐啦。點跳？咩蟲？大家睇翻呢個先，蟲會勾發成航空太空服，勾發成你接住人哋個，唔係點樣隱蔽嘅合作嘅。呢個控制室嘅工作上嘅爭議，好痛苦，係咪？呢啲故事全部要用低杆數先解咗出嚟嘅，我點睇個故事啊？玩得渣就唔可以知道個故事，太過分。記錄嘢有冇做先？東係哎呀，我覺得係會頂住。應該頂住我咪行。哇！垂直喎呢個，反彈我啦！你可以打爆你嘅 ，no！ 啊！咁㗎，打爛晒你，打爛咗2個，有冇可能大力啲連打爛4個咧？但我唔搏呢個，彈咗出去。
Why did we stop?
喂！ 走喎，咁樣。喂，反而短埋洞嗰啲好難讀。沙洞啊，沙乾啊呢度。破碎的阿特拉斯，但係佢討厭佢嘅新生活，喺紅色星球上咁嘅孤獨。咁我白點會反而好似知咁多嘢。哇！呢個乜獎？又係呢啲咁嘅橋，呢啲橋因為少少暗斜，因為暗斜成日呃我。喂，咁精準啊！冇得過去，冇得過去，冇得過去。又係次次一走一撳出隻 game 又咩音樂都冇晒，呢啲 indie game 成日都係咁嘅。呢度
あなたの第二の故郷ラジオノスタルジアフロムマーズ。
低角度你碌到咁快。
That MTA recording actually got me digging into my proverbial record crater because it reminded me of this old track from my DJing days back on Earth called Tokyo 320, a minimal tech house homage to life in the commute and traveling while standing still. Wonderful stuff. Not so wonderful though is a spate of ecoplastic stockpiling occurring in sectors 7 through 12 after rumors of a pending shortage. Guys, ecoplastic items are freely dispensed at conveniently located kiosks around Tesla City, so there's simply no need to hoard any ecoplastic items. In fact, hoarding them deprives the 3D printers of the recyclable material they need to make them freely available. So your stockpiling is kind of defeating the point of valuable resources. There's a 14-sol grace period to return all parts not in use, no questions asked. Besides, however much you hold on, there's just one thing you can't stockpile.
Chill.
Twój dom daleko od domu. Radio Nostalgia z Marsa.
Oh my god!
Stockpiled on blankets, stockpiled on coal, stockpiled on rice, stockpiled on rifles, stockpiled on things, stockpiled on certain stockpiled on wine, stockpiled on rum, but I cannot. Stockpile on love, stockpile on love.
你哋唱嗰啲歌有埋歌詞放埋嚟嘅。
Stockpiled on books.
呀！ 喂！點解啊？喂呀！咩事啊？你唔理？咁犀利㗎！唔好又拖落去。
Katarina Payak there, reminding us that all the good things in the world are no substitute for love. So, if you've recently matched with someone via our repopulation program and you've received a date for your first meetup, don't forget to add it to your mandatory diary. There does seem to be some confusion about scheduling based on the new double-month standard, but it's really quite simple, guys. There are now 24 months in a year, and there are 2 of each month, January 1 and January 2. February 1 and February 2, and so on. Each month is now 28 sols long, except for every 6th month, which is 27 sols long. I hope that clears up the situation. Any further queries, in writing please, can be submitted directly to the Mars Coalition for the simplification of the Martian calendar.
From Mars.
So, from trains and city soundscapes to rhythms born out of hands and feet, water and drums, we continue our journey into the past, into our collective memories of Earth, a celebration of sound as music, music as sound, and voices that carry us into the stars. In that vein, a friendly reminder that silence is deadly. If you hear nothing, please report it. General machine noise means we are being kept alive. Speaking of keeping us alive, 2 equals 1. Duplicates are not spares, people. Everything on Mars is duplicated for security, so please do not cannibalize existing tech. If something breaks, head directly to the spares and parts department in Sector 5 to submit your report and apply for official replacements.
喂，點啊？呢個位個呢條斜路上唔到去嘅喎。唉，喂！咁難上嘅喂，呢個斜坡上唔到嘅喎，要落翻嚟嘅嘛。咦？ 彈翻落嚟嘛？喂！喂！好難打啊！咩啊？哦，玩呢隻仲慘叫，仲慘叫多過玩魂系 game 啊喂！咩啲歌咁難打嘅？唉，會碌翻落嚟。我屋企冇角度尺啊！喂，又係咁，我唔好落去嗰度。唉，落呢度我寧願重玩啊！知。What the hell？ 我咪 iPhone 有冇角度尺啊喂？我要物理外掛，好難打啊魔！猛啊！佢啲位。No， 又係咁。我有冇角度尺？我要求角度尺。佢又跣咗落去，難啊！高嗰啲又彈得遠。低會唔夠啦，嗰啲衫。係啊，又跣，你低角度咧又跣走咗佢啦。哎呀，好難搞啊呢個。唉。未必落到去哦，行前啲啲。係咯，佢嗰啲要暗斜一定係呢個位開始。
It's time for our last caller. Senior geologist at Thistle University gives us a slightly different perspective on ecology from his research lab at the South Pole.
思い出、エピソード、あの頃の記憶、古き良き時代の話、希望、きらめき、出来事、ラジオ、ノスタルジア from Mars。
As a geologist, it always annoyed me that the color of Earth conservation was blue. Seen from space, the majority of the Earth's surface is blue, with the remaining 29% for land. And of that land, deserts make up 1/3 of the land surface area. Sweeping burns of ochre, rust, and gold. Cream. Give me a break. Anyway, as a lifelong acolyte of sun and sand, I'm not up here pining for jungles and wetlands. I yearn for week-long expeditions into the desert, traversing dunes big enough to swallow entire towns in one sideways drift. Dry as a bone on my face. There's more dust in my veins than water. I can tell you that much. It astonishes me that people up here are oblivious to the fact that it's our understanding of living in deserts that makes life up here on Mars even possible. The early days of Mars habitational experiments took place in the Gobi Desert and in Hawaii on the side of a barren volcano, not in a protected marshland in the Okavango. You get me? What did the last trees of the Black Forest give us except fuel for our final fires? The desert saved us. Oh, I mean, the irony is not lost on me. But no Sahara, no Amazon, no Gobi, no Mars. Where do you think the Amazon basin was getting all its fertile sand from? Blown over from Africa. That's where. How do we know how to recycle water to near 99% efficiency? The Gobi Desert. There was always so much focus on saving the planet, saving the whales, saving bees, saving the trees. With the deserts, am I right? Make them green. I knew it was over when those idiots deliberately tried to flood parts of the Sahara with one species of tree. I mean, come on. A publicity stunt by a French paper manufacturer with deeper pockets. And no one blinked an eye. It was meant to help, but the Sahara Tree Project literally poured salt into the wound. It started out well enough, but some unknown fungus wiped them all out, but not before they had sucked all the fertile phosphorus out of the sand blowing over the Atlantic, effectively salting the Amazon basin like an Italian grandmother making tomato sauce. And then there was no turning back. Deserts are why we exist at all, you know. Now as much as then, so history repeats itself. To paraphrase geologist William Grayboe, the ancestors of modern man did not leave the trees left them. So, are we then the neo-great apes leaving the proverbial trees, the stars our new savannah? From that perspective, we didn't leave Earth so much as Earth left us. The desert was always one step ahead, and in a way, we started living on Mars before we even left.
Yes, not all of us up here pine for the fjords. Put me in the desert camp for sure. That searing blue sky and endless horizon. I'm still not used to how close the horizon is on Mars, and the strange sky still throws me off when I see it, and apparently I'm not the only one. The Recreation and Relaxation Department has asked me to remind those complaining about the red color filter on the windows of the panorama observation deck that the sky on Mars is not blue, but salmon pink. Why? So please bear that in mind when submitting your request to visit the outer domes. And also bear in mind that the waiting list is now double months long, so prepare for the experience. You're tight beamed to Radio Nostalgia for Mars. Let's take a trip into the desert.
其實好似細力啲，不過我唔敢搏嗰個位。難啊，卡關啊！因為唔係明明一隻運動 game 嚟，佢分類解謎 game 嘅原因係咪因為咁？好難打。唉，頭先打翻轉頭喺呢度咯，好似呢個位，我諗要打翻轉頭。幾時咧？我好似頭先喺呢度喎。翻啲，係。揾到你啊！因為我有個箱頂住好彩，啲皮箱救咗我。哇！呢度危險啊！呢度會跣咗落去，呢度會跣落去。唯有唔好碌落去。安全 ，safe。 呢度唔好碌落去嘅話，哇死乎！咦係咁樣打golf㗎？呢個地下咁鬼實。喂！啊！打得你啊呢關！呢係好傷心，因為個主角救唔到屋企人，你全家過去咧，佢全家去幫，又要開門，咁咪全家一齊去帶頭去咗火星，但係關佢屋企人咩事？誒電台都睇唔切，開門。好似有毒氣咁樣喂！未睇到地圖。哇！呢個窿。呢度係邊啊？我覺得要呢度打爛咗啲玻璃嘅地氈。跟住落去先。關卡打住邊個講？喂，我而家先係玩咗成20關，啱啱要玩咗20關先有10關係標準內，黐線！唉，都唔內疚埋咁。哇！喂，Bitcoin 啊喂！俾個 Bitcoin， 我又要避呢啲風啊！我呢個關口細。 哇！冇事㗎啫，咩又冇事？係要我嘥多一個嘅，都高啲得唔得嘅？高啲。喂，我要。你又要低光數先俾你睇故事，咁啊衰。黑靠馬桶呢啲水即流出走，你也在刮鼻嘛？玩啲咩嚟㗎？只不過先嗰啲 Bitcoin 咁大嚿喂，27關啊你，但係啲人質要低杆先出可以，睇下點睇啫？我全部啲杆多到，呢個咩啊？可愛的小冊子技術係一個主要特徵，係拒絕接受道德判定。其完全獨立於道德判斷，並從其領域中消除道德判斷。咁深嘅喂，唔知啊？咩啊？呢個係呢度將係我神秘失蹤嘅地方。關於我點解冇返去，佢哋會有一個假嘅解釋。哦，綠色生物，綠色生物係咪即係頭先我見？但係呢啲綠色皮皮嘢嚟喎，覺得係打落呢個窿度啊。我明啦。咩嚟啫？老鼠啊！妖，乜全部剩低呢度嗰啲全部都霓虹光嘅眼。你打落呢個窿度。喂！耶！啊？點解？低啲。噔，加有幾個？你等佢慢慢過嚟吧。好方便啊！有個噴射器，個噴射器又噴咗個波。哇！呢啲陷阱，哇！呢個陷阱嚟㗎。Oh no！啊 ！No！ 啊！有啲金屬地真係好難走，個力水。好彩你打返個轉頭。唉，入咗好彩，係可以彈埋打石。好貧瘠，幾個俱樂部嘅人物，唔知踏上回家的路。而家係咪即係返地球定返火星啊？有啲綠色皮皮嘢為護啊！啊 ？Do not fit 呢個咩嚟㗎？咩字嚟㗎？Google 烏蘇拉係咩嘅？ 哇！一條直路喎，呢度咩鬼嚟？唔好啦，唔好壓啦，嚇親我！啊咁遠打咁遠，得啲條，哇你呢條樓係喎，哎嗰度耶 nice。我條路係俾你行嘅，哇！翻嚟鐵塔喎，哎呀，白紙喺上面喎，我睇唔到喎，哇！呢個位，未必打到過去，碌過去。遠啲就係一飛啦 ！Yes， 正！啱啱彈起咗，好彩你個蓋係有少少凹凸。哇！我要過呢嚿嘢。nice。呢個 easy 啊！嗱點解我波你咬個波唔咬個人嘅？啊？原來係爭少少，埋洞嗰啲杆好難就。nice， 有啊，終於標準杆以下啦。呢個平庸又係唔平庸咯，好難啊！你知道喺特拉斯市人係無法感受好似呢度一樣嘅重力。哦，火星係特斯拉，唔係Tesla，調翻轉 Tesla 市。我想睇英文啊，可唔可以睇轉英文？我轉英文得唔得？等。呢個咩？呢個隻老鼠都有。啊，呢度。轉下英文睇下先。Tesla City 有冇冠名贊助？冠名贊助。係難得計到，首先寫咩啊？頭頂恐龍生活喺7000萬年前，相比之下係咯好短啫嘛。最終以私人公司進入太空而告終。你去咗火星都叫告終咩？係地球告終啫嘛。我睇到人們稱之為烏蘇拉嘅怪物，綠色個皮啊，但係點解無厘啦間佢廢棄咗地球啫？定係玩殘咗地球？呢個燈，呢個難喎，呢個因為啲罐一定推返你個波翻嚟喎，但係好似老鼠鞋啊！我要呢度熄咗佢啊！我要過去熄咗佢。佢呢個角度行前啲就得。哎呀！埋個頭！哦！埋 埋個頭啦！兩個欄杆位，得唔得？哎呀唔係，我諗佢係二呢嗰條路係撳呢個掣。太多啦！我要兩個欄杆位啊，最少，唔係過碌唔到喎佢。呀！差少少，應該真係開少少位，應該碌到過去。平喺兩格度俾我，好啦，有啲難控制喎，呢邊冇欄杆俾我走。我仲有幾個要過，佢會避開我嘅喂，佢會避開我。好似哇 ，nice！ 個背會避開我嘅。喂，你呃咗一 Q， 哎呀，有啲慢喎。Nice， 有嘅半衰期，但係呢位飛行員有自己嘅理由，重溫過，不過佢都係翻地球啫嘛。哇！呢啲咩啊？全部都係有咪？
Well, that brings us towards the end of this particular show. I hope you've enjoyed our rather geological excursion into the past. From music to stories and memories, Radio Nostalgia from Mars has it all. If you want to be involved with RNFM, have a story to tell, a memory to share, contact us via the usual intranet channels and leave a short message outlining your contribution. A big thank you to our show sponsor, OMAS, the no stress, no fuss drink, the Ultra Elite. And a big thank you to corporate for allocating us this precious time and their resources on this tight beam to you.
黃金時段，冇人聽㗎呢度。喂，點解咁犀利？嘥咗2Q。
I hope you've enjoyed the show. It's been an absolute pleasure to share this time with you. We're playing out now with some uplifting melodic techno to remind us to always look onwards and upwards. We may have traded blue skies for pink, but don't forget we still live and love under the same sun.
呢度落嚟好啲喎，唔啫，我唔啫，唔啫。 咁唔好係咁肥。你去邊啊？你反而要兜呢度。我想咁樣彈會點嘅咧？唔夠力。我諗住單會彈。呢度有啲朋友彈翻落嚟嘅搞笑。好彩翻完俾我啲。哎呀，咁都唔入，睇下幾好彈。我都好彈。耶！我居然知低個標準杆靠啦，源於孩子，用於孩子。雲植物動物廢墟，一切都很凄美。度度都係啤啤紅。有多字啲 message 喺度嘅呢個 medium 咩啊 ？medium is the message 嘅，就係好短。人寬有限。
Due to limited bandwidth, this transmission will repeat in 30 seconds. Due to limited bandwidth, this transmission will repeat in 20 seconds. In 15 seconds. In 10 seconds.
Radio activity.
In 5 seconds.
In
1 second.
你 Tesla City 啊？邊個買到電？因為我逃避現實嘅方法，我身為一個係地下信號非常。係咯，要住地底。
To radio nostalgia from Mars. Breathe easy, kick back, and reminisce.
Take my hand, explaining me.
Wow.
This project called humanity. Don't let go while on this ride. There will be no surprise. All I know is that we shouldn't be sad when we think of the road ahead.
但係點解啲公仔有個 radioactive logo 嘅喂？
Don't let go. I know we won't get lost. Oh no, take my hand. Don't let go.
呢個窿我又慘啊！
The signs are fake and the maps are false, but we must go on.
低少少，即係低啲得唔得？我係好彩，好多阻力夠好。哦，咁得意？
Directions through our keys as we drift through this metropolis. Take your earphones off, listen to me, and I'll guide you through this cacophony. People talk, but they're nothing the same.
咁咪有下邊。 上面呢個有條帶好似一
Take my hand. Don't let go. I know we won't get lost.
哇！呢個箱，唉，呢個箱壓到呢。Oh no 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 no！
Don't let go.
冇碌緊，哎。
The signs are fake and the maps are false.
有啲箱壓我。
Go on.
係啊，過龍。我成日就啲地板係咩質地㗎嘛？係啊，難就啲地板。喂！有幾絕啊！你個地板。棉花糖蟲，想自由呼吸空氣，但係着住防護衣。你頭先有除低。 都有除低嘅喎。Keep an eye on your personal beyond。呢個咩？咩嚟嘅？回收車。哇！你咁高難度啊！呢款。 我都低啲，有冇？我個飛動杆。啊！11個傻啦，傻啦！我而家加60，好爛啊！好爛啊！哇！
Radio nostalgia from Mars. Wow, what a way to start the show. Anna Chechen would take my hand, her sublime take on a wonderful project called Humanity. Beautiful. Plenty more to come into Soul Show, a show packed with stories and music to remind ourselves of where we are and how far we've come. Our first caller for the show calls it like it is, and was a hard-hitting look back at the last days on Earth from the perspective of a shrewd businessman and loving father. Stories, memories, the good old days, original sources, authentic tales, hope, inspiration, drama.
Nostalgia from Mars.
I worked in oil, brokering gasoline to be exact. It's a strange business, probably not like you would actually imagine it to be. My day started something like this. I check Reuters and my sheets. See if there's been a change in the fundamentals. See if the spread's up or down. And then when the clock strikes go, I'm on the phone. I could be calling some commercial shop in Bumble, Kansas, where little old Sue loves to know how my daughter's doing. Or I could be trying to get into the head of a powerful Russian who knows the world wants his phone number. That's when the psychology kicks in, and I go to work. If they pick up the phone, they're mine. That's the game.
Wow.
I started when I was 29, 30. My boss was a coked-up, perma-tanned moron who was wasted by lunch. More money than sense. Screaming at waiters because you don't drink gin out of a glass like that. And Caesar salad is supposed to have 8 pieces. 8 pieces of chicken, you stunted fool. Stunted fool was his favorite insult. This coming from a guy who's 5 foot nothing. That was pretty much my life, 24/7. I traveled a lot, meeting clients all over the world. The Amazon, the Gulf, Siberia, Central Asia, the States, Singapore, everywhere. Looking back, I can't claim that I ever would recommend that life, nor can I claim that I was ever really happy doing it. But it was fun. I mean, talk about your share of moments. There was this one girl. some strange mix of Algiers and Paris, with some sprinkle of Havana. A dancer, naturally. So pretty.
Wow.
She'd turn a priest's head or give a nod. Sometimes I wonder what happened to her. But we all had the same feeling. This can't last. And sure enough, we were right. First, you couldn't drink the water. Then you couldn't eat the crops. And pretty soon, we wouldn't be able to breathe in air. I remember looking at Emmy and wondering what kind of a future would she have. So I decided to do something about it. The Mars project was Plan B for planet Earth, which was most evidently The family and I had already put down roots in Tesla City by the time the great catastrophe really hit. The corporation knew my contacts in the world of drilling and refining would be useful, so I adapted my skills to something more practical. Now we are all that keeps this little planet running. Mining those Martian chemicals for the battery banks. Martian cement for the buildings. My pure little Emma has a future. When somebody sits down and writes this all up for the history books, it might just be men like me they'll be hailing as heroes. It's men like me who saved humanity. Men like me who took us further than we ever dreamt possible.
Radio nostalgia from Mars.
Some pretty heavy stuff. Reminds us that all kinds made it up here to Mars, but we're all in it together now. And remain creatures of the world. You're a tight beam to Radio Nostalgia from Mars. Music for the lost days of Earth.
有啲歌好似 Radiohead， 但係呢隻 game 又攞唔到 Radiohead 啲歌。揾個樓梯好難。我冇碌過底喎。咁我呢度彈過一彈，我跟住彈翻落嚟。啊啦啦啦啦啦啦啦啦啦啦啦！啊！嗰啲樓梯都有人性啲。我應該係上唔到去，特登俾幾多樓梯你跣一跣腳。喂！咁啊你，唉，我覺得應該唔可以喺呢度過，2300的物產。點解？我又懷疑基本步。唉！哇 ！no！ 我突然間好似玩緊 男嗰隻叫咩啊？叫咩名啊？點解我總玩緊湖南嘅感覺？冇可以跳過啦！喂！一係呢啲鐵板又好鬼，呢啲鐵板又好鬼跣，又食我一跳。No.
You're home away from home. You're nostalgic for Mars.
Creatures of the world, now that Attracted takes us back. Stefan Milenkovic, pining for blue skies, us musing on the games we play. Just a reminder that until further notice, there is a moratorium on all team leaders playing card and board games with their teams, following an incident over a game of Monopoly in Section C. All senior section team leaders will convene for emergency counseling and anger management courses. Until then, there will be no intersectional board game tournaments and no games with groups larger than 4 people at a time per team. In the interim, teams are encouraged to take advantage of the half ration special on OMAS, a delicious and relaxing drink that takes the edge off of everything.
Hey, wait!
Our next caller, Yamil, takes us into her world of food, smells, sensuality, blue skies, and sings us a personal song to remember.
Histoire, mémoire, le bon vieux temps, source originale, fable authentique, espoir, inspiration, drame, musique, radio nostalgie de Mars.
I have nightmares. I'm happy to be alive, but I knew many who deserved to live more than I did. This is a radio program about nostalgia, not guilt. I've been nostalgic since I was 20, when I left Havana. In Europe, I felt different. Each country has a smell. Mars doesn't. Where I come from, the smell of the ocean, mango, bananas, coconut, mama's food, ropa vieja de la abuelita, el con gris, la yuca con mojito, the most beautiful sun of Malecon, the smell of my street when the rain falls, all of that make me into the person I am. So, when I left, I grew stronger. I experienced the world, but forever stayed incomplete. So, now I'm double nostalgic. We were full of life, laughing on warm nights under blue sky, touching each other. The air filled with the smell of sweat from dancing with Orquesta Aragon playing from an apartment. Now, the only way I can feel this scent is by singing. ¿Cómo fue? No sé decirte cómo fue. No sé explicarme qué pasó, pero de ti me enamoré. Fue una luz que iluminó todo mi ser. Tu risa como manantial llenó mi vida de quietud. fueron tus
ojos. ¡Ah! 你會幫我送翻我波俾我啊？好。哦。咁大嘅？好似要慢慢碌翻上去啊！你頭先唔係？哦。即係。哎呀喂，去咗邊啊？睇唔睇得翻？誒，唔俾我睇上面，因為上面嗰個碌嗰支杆，嗰個旗杆係逼㗎。得。佢有嗰個牌又唔幫我，唔可以擋住我牌。喂！呢個牌我諗住擋咗我落去啊！要！唔好落！求其送你咗啊！我呢度。L touch on。
Fueron tus manos o tu voz.
Fue
lo mejor, la impaciencia de tanto esperar tu llegada, mas no sé decirte cómo fue. No sé explicarme qué pasó, pero de ti me enamoré.
Слушайте радио носталгия за Марса.
Thank you, Yamil. What a wonderful story. Reminds us that life is about so much more than just base survival.
打波打到翻屋企，球場嘅邊緣，樹林嘅邊緣，你監視區外，他向外走。
Well, living in space has always been challenging.
但係個白紙係知，誒，我行喎。因為次慣性都係向後行先。可以行喎。但係啲唔係移民咗好耐，但係點解又好似講到自己唔係隔咗好耐就翻嚟地球？仔，但係好似拎住支空氣咁樣嘅，高爾夫球棍。哎呀，一碌啊！如果白色嘅而家嗰啲。 星水準嘅走，咁多年一直關注我哋，都係有決定多年。我哋重建咗嗰間房，佢教我讀書寫字，我非常咳喎。我問佢想唔想返屋企，佢笑住話呢度就係我屋企。但係呢隻嘢反而係似一隻高爾夫球 game， 個故事反而好難。如果你母語係英文就會易睇啲，你除非要企喺度睇晒啲電台，唔係就好難專心去睇個故事啊！好快完啦呢隻，35關。但係你要睇埋佢啲，我要打到呢個咩嚟㗎？你查的奧德賽，咩嚟㗎？哦，有，但係點解要臨尾咁樣俾個故事我睇啊？因為我頭先講咩啊？佢有好多資訊要你打個低個標準光先會出俾你咯，好hardcore啊！我想睇故事，但係冇技術，要出不停話先睇到個故事講咩。呢個講咩啊？官方稱我為國家英雄，佢帶頭飛啫嘛，講呢個大聲啲，好呢啲。呢個 ending 打得係我大聲，唔係你哋大聲。等陣，我刪細聲啲。但我充其量係個送快遞，啱啊，送快遞。但後邊啲畫靚，好熟喎呢部車，好似係咪美軍都有啲咁嘅樣？佢哋俾咗份工我。並且讓我遠離 Tesla 市圓頂嘅公開聚會。Tesla 好緊要 ，Tesla 有冇冠名贊助啊？有樣啊！喺火星，我喺咩市民娛樂中心，都係送快遞嘅啫。佢送完班人去移民，之後都係送快遞。喂，做乜鬼啊？但係佢唔係喺火星咩？點解起咗咁多啲古怪嘢喺度？啲大隻象。我而家唔係玩緊悲溫大衛，因為載具難到無法駕駛，而且冇話專心。啲上有啲木一直有門。呢個叫咩？Love Charlie。咁似某一套戲嘅喂，咁似去月球嗰個咩啊？去月球運嘢嗰套叫咩戲啊？有套係不停喺地球嗰度，唔係喺月球度運礦石啊！但係點知原來佢係機械人定唔知咩個鬼嚟㗎嘛？就以為自己係人啊！嗰套好熟啊，唔記得叫咩名啊！嗰套戲，係啦，好似係話 喺月球唔知送幾多轉就可以翻屋企嗰啲，即係佢個腦一直諗住係唔知送咗咁上下就可以翻屋企，點知一幾都翻唔到屋企。我記得佢係有個機械人嘅，陪佢傾偈嘅，又唔記得嗰套叫咩戲。因為個畫面好似倒數，我最後聽到一個聲音係倒數，起飛前佢喺控制塔上工作，都係老婆，係咪老婆啊？點解個故事要去到 ending 先俾你睇？我哋好快再見。喂，你飛得去火星就，你飛得去火星，好大個時差噶咯喎。普通火箭啫嘛，往返星辰用咗30幾年，我本應幾年後返去，並且用呢啲可重複使用嘅火箭撤離，喂，即係好似 L1 老闆 SpaceX 嗰啲嘢咯，喂，我重複使用火箭啊，喂，佢呢個擺明幫下 L1 賣廣告啊，喂。先，本應該幾年後返去，並且用呢啲火箭，重複使用啲火箭撤離 Alpha 村，但冇咁做。應該唔會嘥呢個資源返去㗎，單程飛嚟㗎嘛，係咯，冇理由俾佢一條友用支咁貴嘅火箭返去㗎。我受到背叛，因此都背叛咗佢，但係被逼背叛咗佢啫，慘。之後傷心痛苦起上火星過日子，我嘅存在不停提醒大家嗰啲破碎嘅承諾同虛幻嘅夢想，俾佢哋缺乏氧氣同重力嘅實驗之中，我將佢哋本來脆弱嘅士氣更加衰敗。幫佢頂開架車嘛，所以我分配到家車司機工作。我冇辦法參與 Tesla 市執行總裁講嘅跨星球人類呢場電影，冇跨星球啊嗰啲。佢係英雄，但又唔算係特權人士啊，所以其實係固然俾佢返去嘛，反而我借酒消愁，只不過我飲嘅係用料回收的水所釀嘅酒。佢仲要拍，唔知係咪拍藥嚟㗎？因為廁所諗起死亡擱淺個廁所。因為持續咗好多年，直到一天晚上，呢個做咩？我唯一嘅朋友飛行員謝爾蓋英文名，潛入咗皇源高爾夫俱樂部嘅船澳旱地船艦，可唔可以轉英文嘅都唔知要寫咩。我偷渡返去。咦？呢個設計好熟口面喎。事後佢同我講，執行總裁一直都知，上一趟旅程，一個俱樂部資深成員失蹤。嚇？Charlie 唔係俱樂部成員啊嘛，佢頂替嗰個，佢唔係懟冧咗佢之後頂咗佢個位坐返去地球。某種層面嚟講，佢哋將我導有利，引誘末日後世界中出現各種危險生物，得綠色一撇撇嗰啲嘢啫嘛，頭先都係見到，同埋白紙咯。 趟旅程漫長艱辛，但係翻到嚟老婆點啊？打執要翻屋企，喂後邊啲畫好靚喎。進入第一層好靚，然後咧喺降落嘅時候喊，但係你拎住支高爾夫球棍。呢個人類嘅小寶翻嚟啦！之後咧 ，Alpha 我有咗 Alpha 村喎，我感覺呢個全新嘅世界，我冇過往嘅回憶嘅幻象，但係周地都係垃圾嘅就係，你係就拎住支棍。着住噴射背包同沉重嘅防護衣，我呢個火星人同嗰個場景習以為常嘅各個地點，我哋將你個高爾夫球遊戲正當化咗。但係點解可以周圍都仲有電嘅？你好似玩得好開心。呢個你跟住我嘅時候。我喺旅途嘅孤獨身影，可能睇嚟有啲怪異，都係肥咗一個。我哋嘅工業建築而家佈滿咗大自然精細嘅血管網絡根莖。通常冇人嘅時候，啲building就係咁嘅。green 還 green， 但係你呢度沙漠化晒，既美麗又哀傷。但係點解剩翻堆白紙嘅用嘅咧？有龜骨啊！好多喺 Alpha 村外嘅人都係大生態災難。點解關你嘅責任？你咪負責運啲特殊走嘅咩？而家好富裕嘅火星市民。喺佢哋嘅屍體上壓過，大生態災難嘅名。伊薩卡島，佢將個美術集咁擺咗出嚟當之後，然後講古仔。呢度啊，犯案現場，但係我哋走啫嘛，翻個穿梭機，嗰個場地有乜關係啊？我除低個頭罩、頭盔，啲火星實驗室咁多年嚟。吸咗啖真正空氣，然後我坐喺個控制室嘅張凳度，到最後我扮演偉大嘅飛行員拯救自己，就係呢種自私虛榮，作為造作他人嘅思維，造就咗我哋毀滅。但係佢哋都叫移民咗走啫嘛，唔叫毀滅，亦都係地球上嘅本身啲人類毀滅咗。呢度有人跟蹤我，但係呢度畫出嚟係咪好白㗎？我見到個細路震驚不已。呢度又唔係頭先 ending 嗰度喎，佢冇 skip 到咁耐 ，skip 到咁遠。多年嚟，火星當局聲稱人類冇可能喺地球生還，但係有動物都會有人㗎啦，可以帶住佢飛。我只能以歡樂形容我而家嘅感受。 僆仔，我有啲肚餓，變種魚食得㗎，啲變種魚食。呢個環境正在殺死我，但係嗰個生態阻攔係咩都冇講。但係佢仍然好開心。完，我通常呢啲都係返到地球，已經死喺地球度。我要咁樣 download， 我要咁樣 download 個soundtrack啊 ！Steam 唔係有得俾我嘅咩？數下曲先，有邊個想 download 數曲？係咪喺度㗎？喺度㗎？我都係 free 㗎。可唔可以 cap 咗條 link 出嚟？睇睇先。download 對 file 有喎，即係條 link 出嚟就得咯。抄低嘅。直播咧。邊個開啊？哎呀，唔係喎。哎呀！哎呀，撳錯掣，是但啦，食都得啦。唉，一息聲，得啦，咁就玩完咯。不過白金有啲難。歡迎來到廢圖，我跑到計程太空船。降落嘅禁區。我呢個開頭嗰個嚟嘅，但係啲桿數真係好難咯。我加個好彩，唔係加100桿，好彩，好彩。哇！加24桿之前。好深喎，好難打喎。9啊4，炒！我要睇呢啲咯，我要睇呢啲咯，全部要。呢個有喎，Alpha 4，仲有人咩可以點餐？哦，佢因為係扮緊個高爾夫球手，即係高爾夫 club 某一個會員。努力用你帶啲級嘅獨特變海鷗。我要拎翻啲嘢翻去咁樣打高爾夫，但係都要拎啲樣本翻去啊！哇！呢啲好難解嘅呢度3桿。我係咪要跟攻略？我要物理外掛。點打？唉，好多啊！哦，呢個個故事頭先嗰個，哇，有排揀喎，可唔可以？哦，呢個可以揀，都好啲啊，可以咁樣揀。 你用咗一集時間玩完咯。咁就搞掂咗啦。但係個生態災難又冇講係咩？但係其他啲人就死晒喺地球，但係見到條屍喎，成個呢度成個玩嘅 golf 場反而又冇多死屍。可唔可以少方數打到落？我都唔知點，又唔可以用角度尺去玩呢個，好難喎。耶！好味㗎，動物愛好者來生考。哦，啱啱出咗15日，玩咗15關標準杆以下。哦，呢個得閒清喎。我見嗰啲冇得白金嘅時候，有強迫症，因為我冇得翻煮畫面。我覺得電台性好強嘅呢個咩嘢？係啦，咁我翻出去。浮啦唔得，我驚佢冇得重新咁樣玩喎。係咯，就咁，咁又玩完啦隻 game，變長啦。有山車記得彈路，佢都説幾好聽。應該有一彈路我都試下，一段彈唔彈到？反而冇我單邊嗰個我裝下先，將段碟片佢本來冇刪出嚟，包埋佢。好喎，呢個大陣數喎，呢個唔使錢買，刪出嚟唔使錢買，嘢彈路。300M，但我想聽佢啲音樂多過佢啲去電台嗰班人喺度唱嘅，雖然有啲Radiohead 嗰啲歌又好聽，唉，哇死啦！1點6，啱啱玩埋隻 game 啱啱好，然後星期5，哎呀我又要繼續面對惡龍，唉好啦，魔王咪仲睇緊啦，辛苦晒，睇我打歌都可以打到懵懵地，識咗啦，係啦，就咁。識翻隻 game 識。哦，就咁，辛苦晒，打翻佢先。嘅。辛苦晒大神漢，辛苦晒生得落。 什麼？哈哈，你今日癲癲地玩咗呢隻，咁就我可以換 game 啊，不過下個禮拜先知玩完。好啦，係咁啦，都算小品，不過係我脾氣差啲，我揾佢高爾夫應該 OK 嘅，不過點地。如果快嘅應該我都玩咗3個鐘，3個鐘換唔到水啊！如果玩叻啲，2個鐘可以買完就換水。啊，好似熄咗，我熄咗聽唔到喎，好似，頭先唔記得校，聽唔到，應該。要開翻啦，我唔知會唔會收唔到。算啦，仲未慣 OBS 嗰個音效，可能頭先有幾句我識咗聽唔到，都係算啦，冇乜特別嘢講。唉，好啦，多謝各位，咁先啦，拜拜。